Child of light, Archangel Michael speaks. Do not ignore this. Your anxiety has reached a critical level. You're not here by accident. Beloved, your angel is crying out. He will not let you miss this moment. If you walk away now, you will weep later. Congratulations, heaven has chosen you. This is the final call before the door closes. Archangel Michael whispers, your name is written in fire, but if you delay even for a moment, that fire will fade. Tonight, in this very moment, your heart beats faster. A hidden truth is about to be revealed. The one you thought was silent has been watching, and their actions will shake your soul. Pause before you move forward. If this word is already stirring something within you, stay connected, because the next revelation will be too heavy to carry without guidance. Remain aligned so you don't miss what heaven is unveiling. A storm is circling, but a miracle waits at its center. This miracle is your rescue. It bears your name, but listen carefully. You have only moments before the enemy tries to steal it. The hand of God is reaching toward you. If you miss this, you will lose it. Child, hear me. This is not a random message you stumbled upon. It was woven into the fabric of eternity long before you open your eyes. Tonight, Archangel Michael stands above you with a sword blazing like lightning. He says, this moment is destined. If you miss it, you will regret it more than anything you've ever lost. Heaven does not play games. A red alarm burns in your spirit, and angels are shouting. Do not delay, do not hesitate, do not close this message. Within it is a word powerful enough to change your future, protect your family, and connect you to a miracle already released from the throne of God. Do not take this lightly. You were chosen to hear it now. You felt the weight. Now understand the reason. You felt the pressure, haven't you? Endless nights, wondering why everything around you is delayed. Why people who promised to stay suddenly turn away. Why doors you try to open slam shut. You blamed yourself. You wonder if you were cursed, forgotten. But Archangel Michael reveals the truth. You were not rejected. You were hidden. You were not abandoned. You were protected. Every tear you shed was seen. Every silence you endured was recorded. Every storm that tried to drown you was allowed only to prepare you for this moment. Can you see it now? What once felt like torment was divine protection, shielding you from traps that could have destroyed your soul. A voice calls from the unseen realm. Someone you thought was gone has been trying to reach you. They're not here to haunt you. They're here to guide you. They whisper what you could not yet see. This person knows who in your family plotted behind your back, who moved money, who hid their face but spoke your name with venom. Child, you cannot ignore this. Heaven is shedding light on hidden actions. If you keep listening, the name will be revealed in your spirit. But pause and understand. Not everyone around you can be trusted. That's why Michael's sword is drawn. That's why this alarm reached you first. Stay connected. The next message carries weight. If this word is already piercing your heart, do not allow yourself to miss the next divine message. Archangel Michael says, stay connected. Do not be distracted. The messages to come are heavier than gold, sharper than fire, and more vital than breath. Take a step now to align your spirit with every revelation heaven will release this season. What is unfolding is not random. It is your synchronization with divine timing. Your enemies underestimated you. Michael says your enemies thought the chains they placed on your finances would silence your destiny. They believed that if they delayed your payments, whispered lies, and sabotaged opportunities, you would give up. But heaven watched. God allowed their schemes only so they could expose themselves. Every delay was their confession. Every obstacle wrote their names in the book of judgment. That's why this message had to reach you today. The miracle they tried to bury is about to rise. The wealth, the opportunity, the open door they tried to hide will soon emerge, and your name will shine upon it. Do not be deceived by silence. Michael leans close now, his voice carrying both fire and tenderness. He says, do not be deceived by the silence around you. In heaven's quiet, the greatest shifts are born. You've lived through days when nothing seemed to change, when whispered prayers went unanswered, when the heaviness in your chest nearly convinced you to stop believing. But hear this, that silence was not abandonment. It was divine preparation. God was pulling you out of the noise, separating you from distractions, ensuring that when this word arrived, your spirit would be awake enough to recognize it. This is no ordinary message. It is a divine alarm, sealed with urgency. Heaven declares, the time of delay is over. The moment of revelation has come. You are always marked for greatness. There is something in your life too weighty for the enemy to ignore. Since childhood, darkness tried to suffocate you. People tried to confuse you. Invisible forces tried to bury you. But every attempt to destroy you only proved how chosen you are. If your destiny were small, no one would attack it. If your calling were ordinary, the enemy would leave you alone. The fact that you've had to fight so hard, that betrayal came from your own bloodline, that loss shook you to your core, is proof that heaven marked you for greatness long before you knew your name. The battle was a prophecy of victory. Michael says, the battle you faced was a prophecy of the victory to come. And he must warn you, someone close to you has hidden their true face. Not a stranger, but someone you once trusted. A voice you once leaned on, speaking your name with envy. Heaven has been watching. You felt something was wrong, but couldn't name it. That unease, that strange heaviness when you were near them, that was the spirit of truth trying to whisper to you. Michael says their deeds are about to be exposed. What was whispered in shadows will soon be shouted from rooftops. Be ready. When the mask falls, it will shake you, but it will also free you. Do not break this connection. Before you move forward, pause. If these words stir your spirit, if you feel heaven pressing on your chest, do not let this connection break. Michael says what is about to be revealed will be too heavy for a wandering soul. That's why you're hearing this now. Stay connected. Subscribe to this word. Hold tightly to the stream of revelation. Every message is a piece of a divine puzzle. To miss even one is to lose sight of the full picture heaven is painting for you. Beloved child, do not be deceived by appearances. What looks delayed is actually divine timing. What feels heavy is actually holy preparation. Heaven sees you in abundance. Spoken by Archangel Michael. You see yourself in limitation, but heaven sees you in overflow. You look at your empty hands, but God sees the treasures He has already assigned to your spirit. The issue is not that you've been denied blessings. The issue is that blessings were locked, delayed, or stolen by hands that were never meant to touch them. That's why Archangel Michael stands here now with a flaming sword, severing spiritual contracts, breaking chains of bondage, and reclaiming what was unlawfully taken. In the coming days, some of you will awaken to unexpected deposits, divine phone calls, and open doors no human could have orchestrated. These are not coincidences. These are signs of divine intervention. Heaven recorded your tears. Child, let me tell you what heaven just revealed. On the very night you nearly gave up, angels were dispatched to you. You thought you were crying alone in the dark, but heaven was recording your tears as testimony. You believed your pain was invisible, but every groan from your heart reached the throne of God, louder than words. Michael says your cry moved heaven more than 1,000 songs. Because you didn't give up, because you held on when it would have been easier to walk away. The story of your endurance has now triggered the release of your breakthrough. Don't think these words are exaggeration. Watch and see. The signs will appear before your very eyes. The moment of unveiling has come. There comes a moment in every chosen soul's journey when truth can no longer be hidden, when masks fall, when the weight of heaven presses so heavily on your chest that you can no longer deny what's being whispered in your spirit. That moment is now. Archangel Michael stands beside you, and in this hour, he is not gentle. His sword is drawn, his gaze is fixed, his command is urgent. He says, no more delay, no more deception, no more stolen blessings. This is your red alert, and heaven will not allow you to miss it. You thought this was just another ordinary moment, just another message. But no, beloved, this is divine intervention, sent to shatter the pattern that has held you captive for far too long. Can you feel it? That tightening in your chest, that quickened heartbeat? That is your spirit recognizing the voice of destiny. The storm was meant to cleanse, not destroy. Beloved, the storms you've endured were never meant to drown you. They were meant to cleanse you. The betrayals you faced were not punishments. They were revelations. Every slammed door was heaven saying, not this way, not with these people. You wept when those doors closed, but truthfully, had they remained open, they would have led you into traps that would have cost you your future. Michael says, look back, not to dwell in pain, but to see the pattern. Every time you thought you lost, heaven was secretly repositioning you. Broken relationships were shattered chains. Dried up finances were heaven preventing you from sowing into cursed soil. The silence you endured was God pulling you away from foreign voices so you could hear his own. You were never alone. You felt abandoned, but you were never alone. In your lowest moments, when you thought even heaven had turned away, angels surrounded you. They recorded your tears and carried your prayers to the throne of God. You thought no one saw your pain, but heaven saw. You thought no one heard your cries, but heaven heard. That's why this message found you, because your cries reached the tipping point. Michael says your endurance has tipped the scales. What was delayed is now being released. What was stolen is now being restored. That's why you cannot miss this. Not now, not ever. For this is the moment heaven interrupts your path with a divine turning point. A warning with the blessing. But with this blessing comes a warning. Not everyone around you is who they appear to be. Michael is exposing hands that seem to help but secretly work against you. He is revealing faces that smile but hide envy, voices that comfort but carry poison. Do not be surprised when the truth comes out, even from those you least expect. Heaven says, what is whispered in the dark will be proclaimed in the light. And though this revelation may wound you, it will also free you. How much longer can you walk in chains disguised as friendships? How much longer can you break bread with mouths that secretly curse you? Michael is severing ties, not to leave you alone, but to clear the way for true alignment. Stay connected. This is just the beginning. Pause for a moment, beloved. If this word has pierced your heart, if you feel heaven stirring within you, you cannot afford to walk away now. Heaven does not release revelation in fragments for you to lose them halfway. That's why Michael says, stay tethered to this stream of words. Make sure you're connected. Subscribe now, because the messages to come will not only explain your feelings, they will reveal the steps you must take to preserve what heaven is giving you. Without this connection, you may miss the next alert, and it will cost your spirit dearly. Heaven saw what you endured in silence. Child, I see the battles you don't speak of, the nights when sleep wouldn't come, when your body was exhausted and your mind tormented, moments when fear whispered louder than faith, and doubt sat beside you like an uninvited guest. You thought you were weak for feeling that way, but heaven says those nights were proof of your strength. Those shadows pressed in, you did not give up. You stood in silence. You fought in prayer. You endured with faith. Michael says, the scars you carry are not marks of defeat. They are medals of survival. Every wound testifies that you were struck but not destroyed. And now, beloved, it's time for those scars to give way to victory. Blessings will come suddenly. Do not be surprised when blessings arrive suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere. Some will call it coincidence. Others will say it's luck. But you will know the truth. It is divine alignment. The money that was blocked will return. The opportunity you were denied will open again. The one who is silent will speak. And you will remember this word and say, "This is not a coincidence. This is prophecy fulfilled." Heaven does not release empty words. When Michael speaks, creation bows in obedience. When God commands, even time must realign. That's why this message could not wait. Why your angel wouldn't let you scroll past it. Because what is about to happen in your life is too urgent to risk missing. You were never forgotten. You were preserved. My beloved child, you must understand why this moment feels different. You've walked in circles for so long, waiting for answers, wondering if heaven forgot your address. But Michael asked me to tell you now, heaven never forgot you. You were never abandoned. You were preserved. There are blessings too weighty to be given prematurely, and your destiny was one of them. The delay you felt was not punishment. It was protection. Had God released what you prayed for too soon, it would have crushed you under its weight. But now, heaven says you are ready. And because you are ready, this word is your confirmation. Your release has already begun. The alarm was not a threat. It was a guarantee, spoken by Archangel Michael. Your season of waiting is shifting into a season of sudden arrival. Beloved, let me reveal this to you. In the spiritual realm, not every delay was heaven's timing. Some delays were caused by hands working against you, spirits rising to resist you, and people whispering curses when you weren't looking. Yes, there were those who smiled at you, but couldn't bear the sight of your light. Some applauded you in public, but secretly prayed for your downfall. And do you know why? Because your very existence exposed their complacency. Your light revealed their shadows. Your progress uncovered their envy. But Michael speaks no more of sabotage. He has seen enough stolen opportunities and delayed breakthroughs. Now he rises with a sword, and those who touched what was yours will be judged. What you thought was lost will return multiplied, and those who tried to bury you will witness your rising. The weight you carry is not just emotion, it's spiritual warfare. That heaviness in your chest, that deep pain you couldn't put into words, it's not just emotion. It's the residue of spiritual warfare. The pressure you feel upon waking, the strange heaviness in certain places, the sudden fatigue when you try to pray. These are not coincidences. They're signs that forces have been working to silence you. But can't you see? If you weren't chosen, they wouldn't fight so fiercely. If your destiny weren't great, no one would try to stop you. Michael says this battle is proof of your blessing. The war is evidence of your inheritance. That's why you cannot miss this message. You must understand what heaven is doing in this hour, because missing it would cost too much. Miracles are already moving toward you. Even now, heaven is performing miracles with your name written on them. Some of you will wake to phone calls that shift your path. Others will open emails carrying unexpected breakthroughs. Still others will discover that long-held finances have suddenly been released. Do not doubt when it happens. Michael says it will be swift and undeniable. And when it does, you'll remember this word and say, "Heaven warned me not to miss this moment." Because prophecy doesn't come to entertain, it comes to prepare. You, my child, are being prepared not for ordinary blessings, but for a breakthrough that will shake the foundations of your life. Stay connected. The flow is too sacred to miss. Let me pause and remind you, do not let this connection break. Heaven is releasing too much in this season for you to miss even a fragment. Michael says, stay connected, stay alert, stay aligned. That's why you must anchor yourself now. Subscribe to this message so every revelation finds you in time. There are still layers to be revealed, secrets to be uncovered, instructions yet to be given. Missing even one could cost you clarity when you need it most. Beloved, take this seriously. Heaven will not beg, but it will warn. And it is warning you now with love and urgency. A voice from beyond is reaching for you. Child, a voice from the other side is trying to reach you. A loved one you thought was gone is whispering to your spirit. They see what you cannot. They know who in your family plotted behind your back, who took advantage, who hid from you. Heaven has allowed this voice to awaken your awareness, not to frighten you, but to protect you. For truth is about to break through. And when it does, it will wound, but it will also heal. Michael says, better the pain of truth than the poison of lies. Better to be wounded by revelation than destroyed by ignorance. Child, do not ignore this stirring in your soul. It is confirmation that what was hidden is about to be revealed. The roles are changing. Justice is coming. The roles are shifting, beloved. Those who mock you will fall silent. Those who said you were finished will watch you rise. Those who tried to curse your name will choke on their own words as heaven blesses you before their eyes. This is not revenge. It is divine justice. Michael says, you've defended long enough. Now, heaven pushes you into victory. Where you were a victim, you will now be a victor. Where you were small, you will now be great. Where you were in lack, you will now walk in abundance. But remember, child, this is not for your pride. It is for God's glory. The blessings will not only transform your life, but show others that heaven never abandons its own. Sudden shifts will define your days. Beloved, hear me clearly. You are entering a season where sudden shifts will define your days. Sudden phone calls, sudden opportunities, sudden miracles. You'll barely have time to adjust before the next blessing arrives. Do not fear the acceleration. It is not chaos, it is fulfillment. For every year you felt robbed, heaven will now reward you in compressed time. Michael says, what was stolen over 7 years will be restored in 7 days. What was delayed for 10 years will return in a single moment. Do not measure your future by your past. Do not assume tomorrow will look like yesterday. Heaven has intervened, and when heaven moves, nothing stays the same. Your tears were never wasted. Child, I see the heaviness in your heart. How you smile in front of others, but cry when no one sees. Do not think those tears were wasted. Michael says, every tear you shed has been gathered in heaven's veil. Every breath recorded. Every silent cry has reached the throne of God. Nothing has gone unnoticed. Nothing has been ignored. You thought you were invisible, but heaven's gaze has been fixed on you every moment. Beloved, you are not forgotten. You are chosen. The weight of your suffering is the weight of your calling. Heaven does not allow ordinary souls to walk through extraordinary fire. The very intensity of your trials proves the magnitude of your destiny. Your pain is not proof of abandonment. It's prophecy of breakthrough. Do not misinterpret your pain. It is not evidence of abandonment. It is prophecy of breakthrough. You were tested in ways that nearly broke you. There were days you wanted to give up, moments when you dreamed of escape. But even in your weakness, you kept moving forward. You kept praying when your heart was aching. You kept whispering God's name when your lips trembled. You kept holding on when you saw no reason. And that endurance has become your testimony. Heaven honors you now. Spoken by Archangel Michael, your endurance has become the seed of your elevation. Because you refuse to let go of what was once hidden, it is now being poured out. Your struggle was never in vain. Every sleepless night, every unanswered question, every rejection you endured was recorded as evidence that you stood firm. And now, child, heaven rises in your defense. Even now, Names are being spoken in the courts of heaven. Names of those who betrayed you, mocked you, and secretly plotted against you. You've asked, why do I feel resistance from those I love? Why do doors seem to close without reason? Why do whispers follow me when I enter a room? Michael reveals, it wasn't paranoia, it was discernment. What your spirit felt was real. But here's the truth. Their words will not destroy you. Their envy will not bind you. Their schemes will not succeed. Heaven has drawn a line, and no weapon formed against you will prosper. The very traps laid for your feet will become pits into which they themselves will fall. This is not revenge. It is divine justice. The scales are shifting, and you will see it with your own eyes. The financial battle is spiritual. Beloved, some of you are wrestling with finances, asking, why does money slip through my hands as soon as it arrives? Why do opportunities never materialize? Why does my labor yield no harvest? Listen closely, this is not random. Michael says, your provision was spiritually blocked. Forces that opposed your prosperity squeezed the flow, delayed its release, and caused unnecessary struggle. But the chains are breaking. Even now, angels are tearing up contracts written in invisible ink, agreements you never signed but were bound by. Watch for sudden release. Delayed payments will arrive. Debts will dissolve unexpectedly. New channels will open, and you will realize heaven never designed you for lack. You were created for abundance. Stay connected. Revelation comes in waves. Pause, child. If these words stir something deep within you, if you feel the pull of the Spirit even now, this is not the time to retreat. Michael makes it clear, these revelations come in layers. Miss one, and you won't be ready for the next. That's why you must stay anchored to this stream. Don't miss it. Stay connected so every prophetic word finds you in time. Heaven is not finished speaking. To miss what comes next would cost your soul dearly. Your silence was strategy, not defeat. Beloved, hear this mystery. The very people who laughed at your hardship will soon witness your elevation. They mistook your silence for defeat, but heaven says your silence was strategy. They saw your tears as weakness, but your tears watered the soil of your miracle. They believed you were finished, but you were only hidden until the appointed time. And now that time has come. Michael says, your unveiling is near. Those who underestimated you will have no choice but to witness your rising. This is not pride, it is prophecy. Your blessing is not just for you. It is a testimony to everyone who doubted heaven's faithfulness. Sudden shifts are coming. Prepare yourself. Sudden shifts are about to define your days. The door you thought was permanently closed will swing open. Relationships you believed were dead will resurrect. Dreams you thought impossible will become reality. Michael says, the pace will be so swift that your mind may struggle to keep up, but your spirit will rejoice. Do not fear the speed of change. This acceleration is not meant to overwhelm you. It is heaven's reward for lost time. For every year you spent in tears, heaven will give you double joy. For every month of lack, you will reap abundance. For every betrayal, you will receive new loyalty. The days of survival are ending. A season of divine abundance is beginning. You are standing at the edge of a divine turnaround. Child, you're stepping into days unlike any you've known. Heaven has watched long enough as you fought battles that were never yours. Michael has held back his sword until the appointed time. But that time is now. He says, I've seen the injustice. I've heard the mockery. I've counted the delays. Enough. Heaven is moving swiftly on your behalf. Though you may not yet see the full picture, you are standing at the edge of a divine turnaround. Do not let doubt whisper that this is too good to be true. If your spirit trembles as you hear these words, it's because truth is pressing on you. The delay is over. The hour of fulfillment has come. No force of darkness can stop what heaven has already set in motion. You were hidden for a reason. Understand this. Sometimes God hides you in plain sight. He allows others to overlook you. He allows people to misjudge you. He allows doors to close when you knock. Why? Because not every spotlight is a blessing. Sometimes, being seen too soon invites destruction before you're ready. But your hidden season was not wasted. It was a cocoon. And now, Michael says the cocoon is breaking. The unveiling has begun. What they ignored will soon be honored. You will no longer chase opportunities. Opportunities will chase you. You will no longer beg to be heard. Voices of influence will seek you out. The shame of being unseen will be exchanged for the honor of divine appointment. This is heaven's reversal. Heaven is not just working for you, it's exposing what was hidden. Child, heaven is not only working for you, it is exposing what was hidden. Behind closed doors, conversations were held where your name was spoken carelessly by lips pretending to love you. Secret deals were made to strip you of your blessing and transfer what was yours to others. Do not think heaven is blind. Michael says, every plot was recorded. Every whisper was documented. Every scheme was weighed. And now, judgment has been issued. Those who touched what was consecrated for you will pay the price for their actions. You will not emerge from loss. You will emerge from restoration. What was stolen will not only return, it will multiply. Your strength will rise again. Beloved, you may feel weary from the long battle, but heaven says your strength will return like the morning sun after a long night. Your faith was tested, but it did not fail. Remember the moments you nearly gave up. When you whispered, "It's not worth it." When you said, "I have nothing left." Heaven did not condemn you for those thoughts. It fortified you. Michael says, your survival is proof of your calling. You were meant to be destroyed, but you weren't. You were meant to lose everything, but you didn't. You were meant to be forgotten, but you were preserved. That's why your story will be powerful. You will speak not from theory, but from testimony. And your testimony will set others free. Stay anchored. Revelation comes in waves. Pause, beloved. If this word has awakened something deep within you, if the fire of this prophecy burns in your heart, do not retreat. Michael warns, revelation comes in waves. If you step over one, you may miss the next. That's why I must remind you, stay connected. Subscribe now. Heaven is not finished. What has been spoken so far is only the beginning. Instructions are coming. Confirmations are coming. Names are coming. To miss them is to walk blindly when light is being offered. Do not let the enemy deceive you into missing what heaven is releasing for your survival. Stay anchored. Stay awake. Stay aligned. Heaven is still speaking. This is only the beginning. Spoken by Archangel Michael. What has been spoken so far is only the beginning. Instructions are coming. Confirmations are coming. Names are being revealed. To miss them is to walk blindly, even when light has been given to guide you. Do not let the enemy deceive you into missing what heaven is releasing for your survival. Child, the patterns that once repeated in your life are breaking. You will no longer cycle through disappointment, loss, and betrayal. The cycle is ending. Chains are falling. The curse is dissolving. Michael says the ground beneath your feet is shifting. What once rejected you will now receive you. What once drained you will now strengthen you. What once mocked you will now testify on your behalf. You will feel the shift not only in your circumstances, but in your spirit. Your sleep will deepen. Your peace will return. Your vision will sharpen. And these subtle signs will confirm that heaven is carrying you into a new dimension. Not everyone will go with you. Beloved, be prepared. Not everyone who started with you will walk with you into the next season. Some will leave. Others will be removed. Do not cling to what heaven is cutting away. Michael says, it is better to lose a false friend than to lose your destiny. Better to release Judas than to miss your resurrection. As painful as it may be, trust the pruning. Trust the separation. Trust the divine hand that sees what you cannot. Heaven is not robbing you. It is protecting you. Those who cannot honor your blessing cannot enter your breakthrough. Release them and let God replace them with those aligned with your future. Miracles will not trickle, they will pour. Let me reveal this now. Miracles will not come as a slow stream. They will pour one after another, door after door, opportunity after opportunity. Some will feel overwhelming, but remember, you prayed for this. You wept for this. You waited for this. And now it is here. Michael says, heaven has opened, and the rain will not stop until your dry ground is saturated. Expect it. Anticipate it. Prepare for it. Do not be surprised when strangers show you favor, when systems shift on your behalf, when what was impossible yesterday becomes possible tomorrow. This is not coincidence. These are signs from heaven, marking your life as chosen. Silence was not absence. It was preparation. Child, do not confuse the silence you endured with abandonment. Silence is not desolation, is preparation. Heaven works in secret chambers, behind the veil, away from human eyes, so that when the blessing finally pours out, no one can deny its divine origin. Michael says, you thought you were forgotten, but you were being formed. You thought your life was on pause, but your destiny was being prepared. That's why doors were locked. That's why opportunities slipped through your fingers. That's why even those who promised loyalty grew cold. It wasn't punishment, it was preservation. What heaven is releasing now could not survive the soil you were once planted in. Not every delay was an attack. Some were shields. Beloved, understand this. Not every delay was a spiritual attack. Some delays were God's shield. If every prayer had been answered the moment you prayed it, the weight of the blessing would have crushed you. Michael reveals, God has not ignored you. He has been strengthening you. He has been building the capacity of your spirit, something only trials can do. The tears that burned your eyes, the loneliness that broke your heart, the nights when hope flickered faintly, none of it was wasted. Each moment carved you into a vessel capable of carrying glory. Now heaven declares, the carving is complete. The formation is finished. What was promised is about to pour out. Be watchful. Blessings are arriving, but so is resistance. Child, be careful. The blessings are beginning to arrive, but the enemy will not be silent. Whispers are already stirring in the shadows. Voices of fear and envy will rise from unexpected places. Sabotage will attempt a final strike. Do not panic. Michael says, their efforts will be futile, for I have already gone before you. Their plans will collapse before they reach your feet. Their words will fall silent before they reach your ears. Their curses will return to them sevenfold. You need only remain steadfast in your faith. This battle is no longer yours. Heaven has taken it into its own hands. You were chosen to break the cycle. Let me reveal a mystery. Generational patterns once plagued your family. Chains of poverty, cycles of betrayal, shadows of illness, whispers of failure. You believed you were destined to repeat what your parents endured, to carry the same burdens, to suffer the same disappointments. But Michael declares, the chain breaks with you. The cycle ends with your name. The curse in your bloodline has expired. From this moment, the story changes. Your children will not suffer the pain you endured. Your family will not battle the same struggles you faced. Heaven has chosen you to be the one who breaks the line, the first to change it forever. Stay anchored. This is alignment. Pause, beloved. If these words strike your soul like thunder, do not pull away. Michael warns, this word is not random. It is alignment. Each part builds upon the last. and missing even one leaves you unprepared for the full picture. That's why I say this gently, but urgently. Stay connected. Subscribe now. Anchor your spirit to this stream. What comes next will not only confirm what you already feel, it will reveal the steps you must take. Do not let distraction rob you of spiritual presence. Do not let doubt silence your voice. Secure your alignment, because heaven is not finished. The earth beneath you is shifting. Child, the very ground beneath your feet is changing. You feel it, an unease, sudden shifts in people around you, a strange sense that something is about to happen. These are not random emotions. They are spiritual tremors, signs that the earth is preparing to birth what has been carried in the unseen. Michael says, it's like the moment before rain. When the air grows heavy, the sky darkens, and creation itself knows change is coming. You're standing in that very moment. The rain from heaven is about to pour, and when it comes, it will not drizzle, it will flood. Your survival is proof of your calling. Beloved, I see the weariness in your bones, but I also see the strength that kept you standing. Do not underestimate your survival. Many who faced less than you have already given up, but you're still standing, still breathing, still seeking heaven's voice. That alone is proof of your calling. Michael says the enemy tried to bury you, but you became a seed. The more dirt he threw, the deeper you rooted. And now it's time to rise. Watch as you push through the soil of obscurity and emerge into light. What was hidden will be revealed. What was buried will bloom. What was missed will be crowned. Blessings require stewardship. Hear me clearly. Heaven does not only release blessings, it requires responsibility. This is not just about your breakthrough, it's about your mission. Michael says, what you receive now is not just for comfort, it's for calling. Wealth will be given not just to fill your pockets, but to fund your purpose. Influence will be granted not to inflate your ego, but to inspire others. Opportunities will arise not to elevate your name, but to glorify God. Be wise, child. Receive abundance with humility. The moment you forget the giver, the gift loses its power. But if you remain anchored, your blessings will multiply without end.